Sean Al-Shadi with MMA Fighting here at UFC 236 Media Day, speaking with the UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway, who takes on Dustin Poirier in the main event. And first thing, Max, those are some tremendous shoes you have going on. What's going on there? Do you have a story behind that?
Yeah, well, first of all, let's start with this. Your former colleague, Ariel, I did an interview with him before we did that. I came down. He gave me an L in the shoe department. I was kind of tripping out. I was like,
Gave you an L?
Yeah, he gave me an L. I came down with one of my regular shoes, and the guy gave me an L, so I was kind of mad. I was like, come to the media day, you're gonna see. And these are acronyms. Vapor Maxes. This is friends and family package only.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a friend and family package only from Urson, the man himself. The only guy that I actually saw wear besides him was John Mayer. There's
It's a very exclusive club.
There's only 100 of them made ever. So, and when we unboxed it today, and I'm number 29 out of 100. But the only guy that I actually see wear them besides me is John Mayer. And I'm kind of in a league with John Mayer now. So we're getting up there, guys. We made it. We're making it, boys.
Well, man, you have had this belt for a long time, and now the belt's changed. So I'm just curious, what do you think of this new belt? It seems like people are kind of coming around to it a little bit.
I saw the picture. I was like, I'm not gonna judge it until I see it. And when I saw it, I loved it. And come on, I grew up in the era of Power Rangers. Did you not see Dana White as the White Power Ranger with it? I'm like, I'm sold. When I saw that, I'm like, I am sold on this belt. I like it. Looks a little bit Power Ranger-y, and it's cool, and then you get the rubies like Thanos now, and you take people's souls, you can put it on your new belt. But UFC, you guys need to make rings.
Oh.
I need to make rings because I want Jordan pictures, like this or like this, and some of them got two. Some of my fingers got 2 rings, I wanna have rings. Who's gonna carry? Come on, I'm not gonna say no names, but people will be carrying around the belts. It's like, come on, dude, like leave that at home, But at the rings, I'll be showing off the rings all the time, like woo.
So you want a new ring basically with every championship win.
Every championship win. One, you get the belt, you get the ring. The belt can stay at home, and you walk around the ring. Like I did a USO tour with Rich Hamilton. And he won with Detroit Pistons. He won the finals. And he had his fanny pack, and he bring out his ring, Like, imagine him bringing out, like the trophy and stuff. You don't walk around the show. You walk around with the ring. So that we need rings, UFC.
It's a little more practical. You can take it around, show it off.
Show it off. Be like, hey, boom, kiss the ring,
Can't really do that with a belt, I guess. You look a little weird.
You can tell people walk, but that's kind of weird, like walking around. But I don't know. Hey, people got their own thing, but to me, it's like, I don't want to be walking around a belt, especially... Like that is with any belt, but the other belt looks like Power Ranger, It looks like out of this world. So, yeah, I don't want to walk around with it.
Well, man, you are moving up to 155, and that is the big story of this week. Just what is the best part of life at 155 so far for you?
The best part of life at 155 so far for me right now is eating.
Yeah.
I get to eat. I eat a lot at 45, but I get to eat a lot more at 55. So it's great, eating and just. It's just fun, it's just fun. 55 is 55 is still a cut, but it's not a 45 cut. And 45 ain't really that hard. Everybody keep giving me a hard time about the weight and blah, blah, this and that. Never, ever have I missed weight in my career, Doctors came in and stopped it, I don't know what for the first time. And other times wasn't even weight related. So I'm just happy here to make history. Like people keep telling me I have the chance to be the 4th champ. That is a lie. I'm gonna be the first champ, and I'm also gonna be the first guy to win an interim in 2 different weight classes. And then I'm also gonna be a guy that's also gonna be the first headlining of the ESPN Plus pay-per-view card. So there's a bunch of history that's gonna go on Saturday night, and we're about to drop a video of how you can download the app and buy the fight.
You're just setting records all over the place.
Record setter. Nah. It is what it is. It comes with the game, Sure. When you want to be great, and you got a goal and you got a plan, all these things is gonna come along with it. So, I'm just here for the ride. I can't wait. I'm excited, and I can't wait to go into that octagon on Saturday night and show the world why I'm one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
Have you noticed a difference in training and sparring in the lead up to this at 155 compared to 145, where maybe you're more worried about the weight and working on it?
The only difference is like everybody's been kind of telling me like, oh Max, you're a little bit heavy now, or I can feel the crack or the whip behind your punches a little bit more. That's about it. Everybody keeps saying to me like, oh, he's gonna be different. He's gonna go in there. It's gonna be different. My main training partner is this guy named Maki Pitolu. Go look him up. The dude is a 170-pounder. I don't know how he makes 170 pounds. He should be like a 205er, but he makes 170 pounds. He's huge, you know. I got Yancy Medeiros, one of my boys that he's bigger than me. I train with maybe like one or two guys that's my size or smaller than me, you know. So the weight is not gonna be an issue.
Is there a chance that this is your last fight at featherweight when things go well on this weekend?
We see, you know. I don't think so, you know. I said it all the time, you know. When you're a king, you got a throne, you got a job, you know. And when kings leave their village, people try to come in and invade, you know. And like I said, there's guys down there like Alex, Renato, Zabit, and it's like they keep saying this and that, but at the end of the day, if it was a 45 contract, I would have been up here defending a 45 belt, you know. It was a 55 contract, you know. I think UFC and Dana, they all agreed that they want those guys to bake a little bit, so they put them in the oven for a little bit longer, letting them bake, and we see, you know, most of the guys out there, most of them that I just said have only one win in the top 10 or even top 5. So I think so that's what it is. You know, they just want them to bake a little bit, let them grow a little bit more.
And obviously, this isn't a featherweight, but you covered for me there. You knew what I meant. But you mentioned earlier in this interview that this will be the first pay-per-view that is sold exclusively on ESPN+. This directly affects you. You're a champion. You get those pay-per-view points. Yeah. It seems like that move is going to lessen the amount of pay-per-views that are sold. So what are your thoughts generally on that move and, you know, how that's going to affect you guys and what you get paid?
You know, I don't think so. I think so. We just need to educate people how to get it. You know, it's hard. You know, people so accustomed to doing one thing that when you put in change, it's hard for people. You know, like I was the same way. You know, when in my first couple of fight careers, I trained one way, and then I'm with the team I'm with now, and when we did training, it was just different, and it was hard to adapt at first. You know, but I think so. It's gonna be easy. You know, people keep saying this and that, but there's millions of people who already have the app downloaded for other reasons, you know, and this might be a new way to get more new fans, and I think the bars and stuff is still gonna play them, and we're on ESPN, you know. I'm not worried. I think so. It's gonna be great. I think so. It's gonna do the sport good, and I just can't wait. You know, like before we had to wait from all the different stations to see how much pay-per-views we sell and blah blah and so on and so on. Now it's one-stop shop with ESPN, so I'm excited.
After this, is there an adjustment that you're going to look to make in your contract, or just something with the pay-per-view points, if there is, if it does seem to have the effect that people think it will on those pay-per-view sales?
We see what happens. You know, we see what happens. First things first is Dustin. Sure. We take control of that, and we'll have a bunch of talks after. You know, there's a bunch of talks that's on my mind that I would like to talk. So we see.
Well, Max, I mean, you've been asked about this first fight a lot in the lead up to this, and you commonly said, you know, you were a kid in there, and you really were. I'm curious, for your perspective on sort of on this road, what fight is it do you look at and you're like, that's when I became a man, that's when I started fighting like a man, that's when I sort of became who I am now?
Was that first fight, you know, that first fight, I was in the back after the Dustin fight. I was sitting down on myself, I was looking, you know, I was my first fight week, I saw George St. Pierre, I saw Anderson Silva. And, you know, I was kind of like taking pictures and this and that. And after everything happened, I was sitting in the back and I was thinking, like, what am I doing? I'm a UFC fighter just like these guys. These guys are no greater than me, you know? Yeah, they might have been a little bit more famous at the time, but it snapped, you know? And then I went on top of that, and then I won 3, and then I went on that 2-loss streak. And it snapped even more, you know. There's a bunch of fights. I can sit here all day and talk about what fights changed my mindset in certain ways, and Dustin was definitely one of them. You know, the two losses after that too was definitely some of them, and even some of the wins. It made me think differently.
When you look at Dustin at this 145 or 155 pound division, kind of gets overlooked when people talk about the big names, the Connors, the Tonys, but he's been on a tear. Yeah. What do you see when you look at him as a fighter? Where is he best at?
You know, the guy's a dog, like he said, yeah. And they're a dog, and we see, you know. When I was coming up, no one talked about me. You know, I mean, it took me 10 fights by luck. You know, shout out to my man DC getting hurt for getting my interim title. You know, like that's why it happened. You know, like no, it is what it is. You know, that's how the sport is. You just put your head down and keep fighting. He's a dog, you know, and we get to see this kind of fights excite me. You know, everybody keeps saying he's a dog. I know he's a dog, and I'm gonna bring the dog out of him come Saturday night.
Well, hey man, last couple questions, and I really appreciate the time. Lay this out for me. What is the perfect 2019 for you? How does this experiment go for you at 155? What would be the perfect timeline for you?
Perfect timeline. I want to fight 3 times. You know, I want to fight in July. I heard there's a huge card in August. Hopefully August or whatever. But I keep hearing if everything goes here, I keep hearing Khabib might be September. and hopefully the end of the year card. You know, hopefully I can defend my 45 title one more and unify. And if everything goes good, side unify the belt too in this year.
Well, that was actually going to be my question. I mean, like you said, there have been champs, especially over the last few years, but we haven't really seen someone who wants to defend both titles, who wants to kind of go back and forth in those divisions. Yeah. I know you love chasing history. I know challenges just excite you. Yeah. Is that something you think you want to do and you're capable of doing?
100%, 100%. I think that's 100% what I want to do, and 100% think I'm capable of doing. You know, like I said, you know, everybody say, "What's your fuel? What's your fire?" Everybody think the pounding our chest, the screaming, that's the fuel, you know. That's actually the exhaust. That's letting the emotions go, you know. The fuel is curiosity, you know. I'm curious. I'm the most curious guy, you know. I wake up in the morning curious about things, and when I'm in the gym, I'm the most curious guy, always learning. If you're the curious guy in the gym, in the office, wherever you work, success is gonna follow, you know. Be the most curious, you know, and lead by curiosity.
Then my last question. You look around this lightweight division, I know you love challenges, like I just said. You see all these brand new flavors of cupcakes.
Oh.
Does that excite you?
Oh, I want them all. I want to give them to me all. It excites me a lot. You know, this division excites me a lot. People say this is the hardest division in the whole UFC, in the whole world, actually. So I can't wait.
Can't wait for it. Thank you, Max. Appreciate it, brother.